On this episode of Mad Ginger Customs, we're going to see just how much of the frame you need to cut off to get an International 1210 nose onto a Mercury Grand Marquis. Here's a hint. It's a lot. Let's go! We are back on the International Mercury Swaparoo. We're coming to the portion of this that's may not work. Now, if you guys watch the other videos, you're like, Dave, none of that stuff should work. You're probably right. So here's where we're at. We're at the front end of this thing. Now, the grill goes here.
Yikes!
That's a problem. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to unstrap everything from the front of this thing. I'm going to pull the battery out. I'm going to pull the grounds. And I think what we're going to do, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try to unbolt the entire radiator mounting system and try to get the grill over it. Maybe we can cut the inside of the grill out on the bottom. I don't know. This is like trial and error, like how we did the rest of it, but man, it came out good, guys. So this is a big deal, and I'll tell you why. Setting the depth of the front is important to where the cab's going to sit. That's why I'm not welding the cab first, right? We're going to set all of this first, make sure we got plenty of room to sit in it, and then we're going to start engineering all of the sheet metal for the cab. But I got to know that this part is going to fit in here, and I got to cut all this off. Here's the conundrum, right? So I'm going to take the valance off because it's already kind of been beating it up. I'm thinking to section this radiator support. So I understand we're going to have to cut the frame horns off of it in the front, but I don't want to cut them too far back if I don't have to. And if I can just make a box to go over them and then tuck the inset back in and then just make some mounts on the outside, and then we can maybe make a piece like a sheet metal dimple dyed piece that holds the front. I mean, that might be the best bet, because short of that, I mean, I'm cutting like into the mount. Let's do what we can to kind of make it fit the way it is without having to cut too much of the frame out of this car. And then I will build a tube skeleton that we can put a bumper on. You know what I mean? Something strong, so if it does get in an accident, it has a little bit. I mean, it'll probably be too low to hit anything. It'll just go up and destroy the thing. Anyway, all right, more work. There's a lower radiator mount made out of metal. Basically scoops underneath, and there's studs under here. All right. Ideally, if we could keep that, that'd be nice. So I think we need to cut here, which means we're going to go through this mount right here. So I think we're going to get the plasma cutter and zip these mounts off where they bracket in. The fender well is going to fall away on this side and on this side. Technically give us more room to work. We'll fix that later. We may have enough room to do what I'm thinking if we do not use the bottom portion of that brace. So we'll notch this big, and then we're going to cut the whole bottom off, and it'll just slide down over. Sometimes you got to peel it like a grape to get in there. We'll pretty that up. So basically I cut where I could reach and I just kind of pried it open. Try not to burn through anything over here. we would like to keep the air conditioning. So all I have to do is kind of zip it here. And then we can see how far we got to go. And then we're going to cut that one I just paid all the money for up. I'm stupid. Okay, so 2 bolts, right? I'm thinking I can just twist this or push it. So I'm going to take all these bolts out on each end. And maybe I can slide it back and drill a new hole. Slide this back, because this is just barely touching. Guys, this is going to be close, and I'm going to end up having to, like, make a lot of the support. There's no way around it. Who cut that? Helen Keller? I mean, that's not even straight. All right, so we're going to blast these bolts out of this thing, and hopefully we can move this thing. I'll just take the bolts out, come back. It's not terrible. Okay, it's pretty bad. I loosened up all these, and I can push this. I mean, this thing goes back far without touching anything at all. I want to keep the air conditioning, so I think what we're going to do is bucket back as far as it'll go, drill it in, tap the holes, or weld a bracket with tapped holes because I want to be able to take that off. And then this bottom mount, we're just going to drill it in and tap the holes, or we can drill holes and put bolts in from here and weld them, because it'll only be right behind where it is. Unfortunately, these are staggered, so there's no way to... Oh, wait a second. What if I spun it around? What if I spun it around? Is it still on the side? That's what happens when you can't, you know, you can't think straight. Hold on, let's do this. Let's see what this is. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let's try that. Hold on, let's try that. Still not enough. It does, the bracket does spin around. Zoop. But it really needs to be farther back. So this has to come off, and we're gonna have to re-drill it. The top, super easy to re-drill. We're actually gonna notch it for this refrigerant line so we can get it back a little bit further. As long as nothing's touching the belts, we are probably fine with that. This will all go. It's really just the AC. Guys, if I just took the AC out of this thing, it would fit. But the ideal thing is I want the AC. I want it. I'm going to cut more out of the frame, and we're going to cut more out of the valance to fit. Take the wins where you can find them. So what I did was, this looks very crooked. I think that side has to go back. Yeah, it's tighter on that side. Whatever. We got plenty of room. So I notched this so this could move if it needs to. The frame's got plenty of room so we can build brackets. Same on this side, where obviously we'll pretty it up. And this fits, right? So no matter if it moves up or down to be level, it's basically in there. It's like a Harlequin Golf. Do you guys remember the Volkswagen Harlequin? It was a Golf they had in the, I think it was in the 90s. And every panel was like a different color. That's like this thing. It's pretty much the same thing. All right, so now we need to fit the radiator support and figure out how I can get the radiator itself affixed. I don't think that's going to be difficult. I want to cut as little as I can. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to measure from here to here. And that distance right there, we'll keep this, and then we'll cut everything on the inside. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose the structural integrity of where it latches. So we will have to build something to fit behind here that affixes that, but unfortunately that's going to have to go, I think. I'm going to explain what we're doing real quick. So we're going to notch this out to fit where those frame horns are. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut this brace, and we're going to have to figure out another way to get this brace tied in. Whether I can make maybe a structured piece out of sheet metal and dimple dies and bring it over. I think I'm just going to use the plasma cutter because it's faster. It doesn't have to be exact for now. We can clean it up. And we're also going to have to cut out a little bit of this radiator support, not much. Shouldn't be a ton. It's really just this piece in here So I think we're just gonna come over and just run it down and clean it up with the flap wheel. So time lapse. I mean, it somewhat fits. I got room on the frame horns. We're gonna obviously, let me get you off the stand. God, it is so windy out. Hope it's not ruining the audio, guys. We're obviously gonna have to build something across here, right, to hold this up and keep it off the cooler, or we're gonna have to move the cooler up. I think that's a power steering cooler. Let me see here. Yeah, unneeded. Maybe a little trim in here, because we got to pull this in, and maybe a little trimming around there, because we don't want it to touch the AC. That side's okay. We're going to obviously square it up nice, and we'll make it nice. And I got to find some way to mount a bumper. I'm actually may bring this entire thing up, because it's literally going to stick out the bottom. What do you guys think? You guys think I should move the radiator up? Probably, huh? Maybe I'll build a spacer block, because we got plenty of room up here. I could just bring it up, and then that, I guess the bumper would be that low. Hit it in the comments. What do you guys think I should do? I don't know. We obviously won't get to it for a while, but I'm going to keep putting bolts in this. It's kind of dumb work. I'm just kind of snugging them up hand tight, because we got to move everything around. I'm going to try to put that valance back on just to like see how it looks, make sure everything fits. And maybe a brace, and then we'll try to do something with the hood. The hood's going to be a nightmare. I think I'm just going to do hood pins for now, and we'll figure out the hood hinges later, because they mount to the sides with this sheet metal brace. This, you know, was rotted in the old truck. Unforeseeable difficulties. This grill is from like a 74, 75, I think. This one is a 73. The 73 has a very pronounced lip that comes up. This is it's mauled. This is the original one in the truck that was literally falling apart. This is not going to work, and this is not going to fit. A couple things we can do. We can trim it up. It's not a show truck. We don't care. We can do that. Man, that's disheartening. Or I gotta find one of these grills, and that's good luck with that. You'll never find one of these. And this thing's mauled. I didn't do all this to it. This thing was just destroyed when I got it. But, I mean, you guys get the picture, right? It's kind of kittywampus in there, but I don't know, whatever. I mean, you guys get it, right? It fits. It's on there. It's cool. I really like it. But I would like it with one of the straighter, newer grills, and I would like it with a bumper tucked, really tucked in on the bottom. I think we're gonna have to get a bumper. We're gonna have to build brackets, and we'll tuck it in nice and tight. But guys, it's coming together. I think honestly, I could just drop the hood on it to kind of see what it looks like. If the hinges would go down inside, which I don't know if they will, because they're massive. We might have to cut them off. If you have a 73, probably 71, 72, 73, International grill for a 1000 series truck, and you wanna send it to me, I'll buy it from you, as long as it's not $1 million, and as long as it's in like driver quality shape. I'm not looking for mint, where this is not going to be a show truck. This thing's we're going to drive this thing. I mean, maybe we'll go somewhere cool with it, but we're definitely driving it. So get at me, mattgingercustoms@gmail.com. Let's play around with this grill a little bit. All right, I'm not completely mad at it, but maybe if I just got a lower valance for a 74, I think I'd be better off. I can cut it into here, you know, and it'll drop down in. It's never going to be correct. It'll kind of because it's bumped out. It should just hide it. Probably be okay, but it's not going to be right. You know what, guys? Maybe for now we'll do that until we can get one. I think I'm going to try to find one or the other matching. But this is big, right? This thing fits. Everything's in here. Nothing's rubbing. We got to cut a little bit in there where the radiator is. We got to still tack these brackets in because we're going to back them up a bit. What about this harness? I bet this harness we could strap right across the top. Oh yeah, we go right across the top up here with it. And then we got to build some type of support, you know, for this thing to sit on. And we're going to build some mounts from here to this, right? We'll put a cushion block in it. I got some Jeep motor mounts in a box over there somewhere. And then we'll come up with this. And that's when I think I can tie together something here that I can actually mount the factory hinge to. So when we open the hood, I don't want to use hood pins if I don't have to, but I'm not above it. This is kind of where we're at. She's a little crooked. I get it. But it fits. We got plenty of room. We got all the room. We got enough room to fit an intercooler in here. Oh, all the intercooler room. Yeah, we'll turbo it. We'll blow it up. This motor's got a lot of miles on it. We'll have to get another motor, but we'll finish this one off first. It's fitting. We got to build some brackets. We got to build some radiator support brackets. We got to do a little bit more cutting on the radiator support itself, and we got to get this. This grill fit because she's not fitting very well. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of Mad Ginger Customs. We had a short week this week because it's our youngest birthday, so we got weekend plans. So this is as far as we got. We got the nose to fit, which is a bonus. We're gonna get this hood to fit. We're gonna build some brackets for this radiator support. Do all the fun stuff. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Share this with your friends, please. I'd like to thank Mike Wright for buying coffees on our Buy Us Coffee link. That is in the description. If you guys like the content, you can support us that way. Or if there's Amazon links in the description, you can click them. You don't have to buy what's in the link. You can pretty much buy anything, and we get a little tiny percentage from Amazon. Moving forward with this, we're going to be coming off this project for just a slight bit. We got a bunch of other stuff. We got some cool tools we got in, and we got some work on some other vehicles that everyone's asked to see. So just remember, guys, you watch me do it, and if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.